is Lane Dorsey. I am a photographer. I'm from Toronto, Ontario. You know, growing up, just was either on a skateboard or a bike. All through high school, all through middle school, I was really into stealing my grandfather's DSLR, and I would always just take pictures of everything. Like the flowers in the backyard, the cats, my friends skateboarding. I would just steal my mom's kitchen lamp and like light some product stuff and just experiment and just mess around with pictures. And then it wasn't until the end of high school where I was just kind of like, oh, shoot, what am I gonna do? Why not photography? Like it's always something that's been in my hands, and my mom says I have a good eye. Naturally, I listen to her. The biggest thing about photography that I like would probably be almost control every single variable of the canvas, down to the lighting, the posing, the editing, the idea. If it's simple, if it's just one light, or if it's like 12 different lights that look like it's natural, I just love the idea of controlling light and creating something where somebody can look at my work without my name or without any context of me being involved and just being like, yeah, I think Lane shot that. That's my favorite thing ever. Oh my God, I love it. I've been told my style's very punchy and loud. My work looks very produced, but in reality, I do somewhat very little retouching. I very much like a powerful portrait, and I think that has a lot of impact. There's a lot of opportunity to make great images with just everything from the neck up of a subject. So I like the challenge and I like the simplicity of it. When I'm shooting models or subjects, actors, musicians, D-list celebrities, you know, like whoever's in front of my lens, it can be the Pope or it could be like my next door neighbor, Jim, who's missing 3 teeth. I treat it very much with the same approach in terms of our general mission is to get a good shot. Whatever that good shot may be, I'm usually very much hands-on with directing my subject or model to kind of work with me to get the shot that I want. If it's something moody, if it's something dramatic, if it's something playful and fun, there's a lot of variables when shooting anything. And there's a checklist of 1,000 things that's constantly running through my mind. Where's the light coming from? Is this flattering? It's just a giant stem graph of like, if yes, go, if no, how to fix, you know? So yeah, it's like a machine up in here. Ones and zeros, everything is crazy. Cool. With your pose, stand just flat. Because you're kind of like on the hip. Yeah. When you go to my website, the first image is a black and white profile portrait of Chris Hadfield, who is a Canadian astronaut who kind of just went viral for a few different things. I don't know if y'all have heard of him. I spent around 5 months chasing down his manager. I just wanted 1 minute. All I needed was like one shot. And I kept hounding and asking. Finally, it was like, all right, yeah, he's gonna be on his way to a hockey game with his son from this time on this day. If you can have a studio ready in this general area, he'll come from the airport, go to your studio, shoot, and you know, and then he'll go to the game. And I'm just like, okay, that's all I need. I need a tiny window. Me and my assistant rented a studio, set everything up. Very minimal setup. I mean, I didn't have crazy like pro photos. It was just like speed lights. He showed up 2 minutes early. We were there. We had everything set up, and I thought the whole mood would have been like, you know, hi, nice to meet you on this. Let's go, you know. But he was very much just the coolest dude. I've been known to make a really bad space pun. He's the coolest dude like on the planet and off the planet. I got the shot. It was literally mission success, and I like that feeling of hunting for a shot, and just when it pulls off, it's fantastic. And it's been on my website since. First image. I want people to look at my photographs and just be like, damn, that kid can shoot a hell of a portrait. That's literally all I want. I mean, I could say that like, oh, I want to shoot something with artistic integrity and something that talks about the catastrophic financial this and that, you know, just art school, blah, 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 whatever. But I mean, bar none, if I'm shooting, again, the Pope or my next door neighbor, Jim, who's missing 3 teeth, I want just for people to look at it and be like, oh, damn, that's a hot shot. Who shot that? Lane? Yeah, I can tell. I love getting that reaction. It's definitely one of the reasons why I keep doing what I do, just to have that little 1 second of recognition where you know, somebody kind of just agrees with you in like, you know, in your photographic choices, be like, oh, I love the lighting. And it's just like, thank you. I have a Nikon D800 that I've been using since 2014, still kicking. And the two lenses that never leave my camera are an old film lens that my grandfather inherited to me. It was a 105 Sigma macro 2.8, sharper than nails. But it's either that, the Sigma, or just a Nikon 50 1.8. Lighting-wise, I use D1 Pro Photo Kit. I have the 1000 heads. Up until 2 years ago, I was just using speed lights. Like 90% of the photos on my website, like right now as we speak, speed lights shot in my living room. My favorite photo is a photo I shot for a school assignment in my second year of university. And it's just a black and white portrait of my grandfather, and it was taken on October 31st, 2012. And it was taken on the day where he was fully diagnosed with his lung cancer. We had the portrait shoot planned and everything. I just wanted him to swing by, hang out. I was very close with my granddad. So he came by and you know, he told me the news. You know, everybody's been through it. It's just like getting hit with a truck, right? A big coping mechanism for me was to just not hide behind the camera, but be very strategic about being behind the camera and just kind of being like, okay, I need to photograph this moment. You know, I need to photograph something that attests to this whole situation, right? So I wanted to shoot something very, very impactful and very meaningful, and just, again, at the end of the day, just a nice, solid portrait. That's my favorite photo, and I don't think I'm gonna make a photo that strong or that impactful for at least another 10 years. Like, I didn't use any modifiers other than just like hard bulb. You know, there's like good, strong highlight, but the shadows are filled. So it was kind of like a two light setup. One is direct on him, the other one is bouncing over my head, just kind of flooding with a soft light to fill the shadows. So I kind of like that because it's still very punchy and sharp, but it still has a somewhat softness and like realness to it. Because I mean, natural sunlight is exactly like that. Natural sunlight is one hard source with every kind of fill light imaginable. Today's photographer is many things. Today's photographer has to be current. Today's photographer has to be relevant. Today's photographer has to be constantly working and creating and involving himself in the art. And today's photographer is keeping up, really. In 5 years, who knows what the tools are gonna be, right? If it's not VR or the whole idea of taking a picture and moving it very subtly and like creating, you know, an MP4 out of a JPEG, you know, like just all these little tools and whatnot, they're always just kind of coming up, and it's one thing to know about it, but it's another thing to like soak it in and know what is going on in the craft. Today's photographer has to be hungry because nobody's gonna hold your hand. Nobody's gonna sit there and be like, all right, well that shoot was not so good. Next time try doing this. You know, nobody's gonna do that as much as you'd like to think that it would happen. I mean, it's very much a do-it-yourself industry, and I think it has been since day one. They have to want it, they have to work for it, and they have to just keep going at it, because in today's age of social media and look at me, 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 comment on this, look at me. You know, like it's all about me, right? And it's staying afloat in that is a feat within itself. You know, you can't just do one shoot and just sit down for like 2 months. Like, no, I mean, people have the attention span of like a moth, you know, like it's just this constantly. Oh, that's cool. Oh, nice. Sick. Forgotten. Boof. Done. Right? So it's staying relevant and staying hungry is very important.